Hey everyone, Chris here from IELTSadvantage.com, and in today's lesson we're going to look at the 5 key features of a Band 7 or above essay. So we only work with students who need a 7 or above, and we've identified 5 key features that those students have. When we look at their writing, we can identify these key features in their writing. So we're going to share these with you today, and we're also going to give you some information about how you can work with us further on our $1 challenge, but we'll tell you about that at the end. So, feature number 1. The candidate has demonstrated that they have clearly understood the specific question, and this is all about the planning stage. So, one of the things that we've identified with our students is many of you think that you're answering the question, but when you actually look at the writing on the paper, it's far from it. So many of you are looking at the question way too quickly, or misinterpreting the question, or misunderstanding the question, and it really comes down to just taking the time to think about the question, analyze it properly, and develop ideas. Think of ideas that answer the specific question. And just a very quick tip: spend 1 or 2 minutes with your pen on the table. Do not even think about writing anything, and just breathe and look at the question and think about what you're doing, because many of you are under stress, under pressure. It's a really high stakes test. It can change your life if you pass or fail, and it's obvious that you're going to do things way too quickly. So some of you open the test paper and are like, oh, what's going on, and just start writing or start planning immediately. I've done this myself when I'm learning new things. At the moment, I'm learning 2 new things. I'm learning jiu-jitsu, and I'm learning how to drive. I know I'm a 35-year-old learning how to drive, but better late than never. And both of my instructors have said the exact same thing to me. They're like, yeah, you're doing really well, but you're doing everything way too quickly. So when I'm learning a new technique in jiu-jitsu, I'm trying to do it at full speed. Rather than focusing on technique, I'm just trying to do it at full speed immediately. Same with when I'm learning how to drive. One thing that I don't do is when I'm changing gears, I don't check the mirrors, and I look down. And it's just because I'm trying to do it as quickly as I can. But when I just relax and take my time, then everything becomes much, much easier, and I do it perfectly. You can apply this to IELTS writing task 2. If you relax and take the time to actually think about the question, then you're going to do much better. Because if you start off by misinterpreting the question, then you're just wasting your time. Because it doesn't matter how good your grammar, your vocabulary, your structure is, if you don't do the most basic thing, which is answering the question. And this is something that we see again and again and again. On a daily basis, we get emails from students saying, I followed your structure, I followed your advice, my grammar is good, my vocabulary is good, but I got 6 or 6.5. And some of them are really angry with us. So when they do that, we say, send us the question and send us your ideas. How did you answer the question? And it becomes very, very clear for the vast majority of those students is you completely misunderstood the question. And they feel very silly, and they feel like, oh, I can't believe I did that. And it's not because they're not intelligent, or they're not smart enough to understand the question. It's just they didn't take the time to do that. So it's really important you do that. And there are specific techniques that we teach that allow students to systematically analyze a question and develop ideas from that. Feature 2. In response to the specific question, the candidate has clearly stated their message. Okay, so this is all about taking what is in your mind, what is in your brain, and clearly putting it on paper. There's a big difference between what you want to say, what is in your head, and what you put on paper. So this has many different elements. It starts off with planning. It starts off with actually answering the question, because if you don't understand the specific question, you're not going to be able to clearly state your answer. And it also starts off with generating ideas, generating specific ideas, and it's also about the building blocks of your essay. how to paraphrase, how to write an introduction, how to write topic sentences, explanations, examples, main body paragraphs, conclusions, how to summarize your main ideas, the actual fundamentals, the building blocks of your essay. If you're not able to do that, then everything becomes a little bit difficult to understand. You want to make the examiner's job as easy as possible. Some essays, you'll look at them and it takes you 30 minutes and you've got a headache after it because everything's just very difficult to understand. Some essays, you read it one time, it takes you 5 minutes and you know exactly what that person wanted to say. So the easier you make it for the reader, the clearer your answer, the better your scores are going to be. So this comes down to the fundamentals of writing, and it comes down to the planning stage, and you can learn each of these techniques quite easily and practice them and get feedback on your work, and that's really going to help your writing. Feature number 3, the candidate has taken key points that address the specific question and fully develop those main points. So it doesn't matter if you can think of lots and lots of great ideas that answer the question if you don't develop those main points. You have to take each of your ideas and explain how it answers the question and support them with evidence. So that's about clearly stating your main idea in your topic sentence, in your main body paragraph, explaining how it answers the specific question in your explanation, and then supporting that with your example. Again, something that is very easy to learn. There are very specific things, techniques that you can learn, then practice using them, get feedback on your work, and then you're going to improve. And this is not only going to help you in IELTS, it's going to help you in general, because it's all about communication. Can you clearly communicate your main points? There's no point in answering a question by saying, I think this. All right, that's very poor communication. What you want to do is, I think this is why I think this, here's evidence to support my main point. So it's helping your overall communication, and that's going to help you with your career, with all sorts of areas of your life if you have a good command of English and you can clearly communicate with other people. Feature number 4, the candidate has used vocabulary appropriately and accurately to clearly state their message. This is the key point here, to clearly state your message, because it's about the function of vocabulary. Why do we use vocabulary? Okay, so if you look at lots of YouTube videos or websites or read lots of books on IELTS, you'll find that there are two main camps, two main ways of thinking about vocabulary. The first is we use vocabulary to show the examiner how amazing our vocabulary is, to show off how great our vocabulary is. That's one way of thinking about it. The other way to think about it is we use vocabulary to clearly answer the question. We use vocabulary as a tool to help us clearly answer the question, which is the most important thing. Which one do you think is correct? One that says, let's show off how amazing our vocabulary is, or let's show how we can use vocabulary as a tool to help us answer the question. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine you pay a builder to build you a house. And every day the builder comes up and says, look how amazing my tools are. Look how amazing my hammer is. Look how amazing my saw is. Aren't they great tools? You would turn around and say to them, I don't really care how amazing you think your tools are. What I care is how amazing my house looks, how amazing you're able to build a house. Don't use vocabulary to show off how amazing your vocabulary is. Use it to help you clearly answer the question by using it appropriately and accurately. If you're looking at YouTube videos that say, use these 5 key words to improve your vocabulary score, you're in a lot of trouble. If you're looking at, or you have a teacher that says, learn my list of Band 9 vocabulary or magic words, or, what did I see the other day? Diamond words, then you're in a lot of trouble. But if you focus on learning vocabulary to help you become a better user of English and to better communicate in English, then you're going to do much better. Same as feature number 5. The candidate has used grammar appropriately and accurately to clearly state their message. Why should we improve our grammar? To show how amazing our grammar is, or to help us communicate more effectively in English? We should improve our grammar because it helps us clearly communicate with other people. That's what the IELTS test is for. Why do we do the IELTS test? We do the IELTS test so that when you move to the country of your dreams or start the job of your dreams, you're able to say, I can clearly communicate with other people, either through speaking or writing, or I can clearly understand what other people are saying through listening, or I can look at something and read it and understand it. That's all they really want to know. If you're going for a job, and let's say you're going for a job interview in London, they're not going to give you a test and say, how many amazing words do you know? Or how many amazing grammar structures have you memorized? They're just going to say, can you clearly communicate by writing an email or speaking to someone? Or if I send you an email, can you read it? Or if I send you a video, can you understand it? That's all what they really want to know. And that's why the IELTS test is not testing your ability to show off how many amazing grammar structures you know or amazing Band 9 words you know. It's just basically saying, can you clearly communicate with people? When you're writing an essay, can you clearly state your message and use grammar as a tool and use grammar accurately and appropriately? So this is about writing, but it's mostly about editing. All right, grammar and vocabulary, you're really going to improve your scores by introducing editing at the end of the writing stage. So there are 3 stages: planning, writing, and editing. And those should be 3 distinct stages, and you should have time to do them all. And if you learn all of these techniques, then you will be able to get all of these done in time. So, let's summarize the 5 key features. Number 1, understand the question. Number 2, clearly state your message. Number 3, develop your main points. Number 4, use grammar appropriately and accurately. And number 5, use vocabulary appropriately and accurately. And if we look here, so if we go to Google, so if you need help with improving these, and if you want my help improving these, Google IELTS Advantage or go to IELTSadvantage.com. See if this works. So if you go to Google, IELTS Advantage, the first website will be IELTS Advantage. If you go onto the main site, there we go. And at the very top, you'll see exactly what to do to get a Band 7 or higher in your IELTS Task 2 essay. So if we click here to join, we'll give you all the information you need to join our $1 challenge. We do this about every 6 months. It starts on Monday. We won't do it again until at least summer 2019. And this is a chance for you to work with me for a very, very, very low price. Normally our VIP courses start at $300. We could give this course, we could charge $100 at least for this, and we're allowing people to join this weekend for just $1. So it really is a no-brainer on whether to join or not. And what is covered? Day 1, how to answer the question. Day 2, how to clearly state your message. Day 3, developing your main points. Day 4 and Day 5, vocabulary and grammar. All you have to do is click on the button, enter your details, pay the $1, and you'll be able to get in immediately. We are only going to allow 2,500 people to join. 1,500 have joined already. So you have to get in over the weekend or we'll close the doors. At that price, places are going to go pretty much immediately. We have over 1 million followers on Facebook, 60,000 on YouTube where you're watching right now. It doesn't take a genius to figure out these places are going to go very, very, very quickly. So you should join now to guarantee your place. That's pretty much it for me today. I'm going to have to go because we have so many messages and emails and everything asking us about this $1 challenge. We only do it every 6 months because, to be honest, it is a huge amount of work, people emailing us and asking us questions about it. But if you have any questions, just click the link below this video in the description and you'll be able to join, or in the comments if you're watching the live feed, you'll see a link there, and follow the instructions. And as I say, all your questions are answered here. Thank you very much, guys. Hope to work with some of you personally on Monday, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.